We are back. Welcome back to Green Dot Defense and Awareness Training. We are going through this evolution, this concealed carry evolution here. Just want to show clear. Nothing there. And the next part of this evolution is trying to find the concealed carry for this setup. Which ammunition are we going to call the ammunition for this setup? Because it's going to like something more than it likes everything else, or maybe it will only like one and doesn't like anything else. So we'll see what kind of personality we've got behind this setup today, because we have picked up, I believe, 7 different ammunitions in our last trip to acquire some ammo for this little puppy here. So we are going to go ahead and get to it and start identifying what we got and some of the characteristics, so you guys can understand some of the differences and the nuance of what we're doing here. So I guess on that note, let's do some heavy lifting.
Okay, take your time.
So the first thing I want to identify here is that the P365 setup has a 3.7-inch barrel with a 1 in 10 twist rate, which will be so important in terms of just, adding on to all of the other characteristics that follow with these ammunitions that we have in front of us. Also identifying that in our last test, we had a favoritism in this firearm towards the 124 grain, a little bit more so toward the federal 124, which came in at 1150 feet per second. So I'm thinking that whatever happens today will probably favor that same data. So let's see what we got here. Starting from the left, we have the federal tactical HSTs, the law enforcement versions here at 124 and 147 grain. The 124 is at 1150 feet per second, and the 147 is coming out at 1000 feet per second. To the top, G9 Defense has a 80 grain projectile coming out at 1520 feet per second. That's going to be a fun one. In the silver boxes, we have the Hornady Critical Duty Flex Lock we have a 124 plus P at 380 muzzle energy and 1175 out the barrel, and we have a 135 at 306 pounds of muzzle energy and 1010 out of the barrel. And moving to the right in the black box, we have the SPEER Gold Dot at 124 coming at 1150 feet per second, and we're closing out with a federal 115 plus P plus, which is going to be a little bit of fun since that one is 400 pounds of pressure out the muzzle, and also coming at 1300 feet per second.
Try shit, wanna work, try shit, switch it up, try shit.
Okay, so we're going to start off with the federal premium law enforcement, the HST 124 grain. Starting at the top target. Up to what we got, federal premium law enforcement 147 grain. We'll bring this one down to the middle target on the left. 5 shots. Okay, this is the 124 grain flex lock. One at the bottom target on the left. This is the 135 grain flex lock. Going at the bottom target on the right. All right, next 5, we're going with the SPEER Gold Dot 124. Gold Dot hollow point. Okay. 5 with the SPEER. That's a decent group, and they're all pretty much, pretty straight, little high, little low. I didn't feel like I did anything crazy in terms of movement. We are shooting from a supported position. So we need to switch this up a little bit as my mic died in the process of documenting these last 2 ammunitions. I do feel like it is important to reiterate that I was shooting from a supported position as we move into these last 2 offerings here. So with the federal 115, the +3 plus that we have here, 1,300 feet per second, it was not bad. We did have a slightly wider variance as we went to our 5-shot measurement, but that amplified quite a bit with the G9 Defense Plus P when we had a decent, 4-shot group at, what was it, 3 1/8 inches, but that flyer stretched us out to 12 inches. It missed the paper entirely, which is a huge concern for me as we're considering an ammunition that we want to carry on our person, because we are responsible for everything that leaves the barrel. So if we have something that, has the potential of flying that far off the mark, that immediately falls off the list in terms of my considerations of what I'm willing to carry. So big pluses: solid copper, you can reload it. It's a fluted design, so it dumps energy into the target. Don't have to worry about over penetration. These are a good option in places where hollow points are illegal, New Jersey, but they're not the only fluted designs. So, you do have the Underwood Extreme Penetrator, and the Fort Scott has the TUI, the Tumble Upon Impact. These are good options in places where you have to kind of over maneuver the law. But, I do have another firearm that likes lighter loads, so maybe that'll be a good fit for that. Okay, so let's just kind of go to the spreadsheet here. This is where I've documented the preferences I think that my firearms have based on their performance with these target ammunitions here, with the Blazer Brass in 3 different grain weights, which I've documented in previous videos, and here with the Federal American Eagle in 3 different grain weights, which I have also documented in the same videos. Really kind of going with the best performance that these firearms show to me based on the grain weight and muzzle velocity. The P365 showed good performance in the 124 grain Blazer Brass at 1090 here, and again with the 124 Federal at 1150 feet per second. And I think the 1150 showed a little bit of a tighter group than the 1090. So I really keyed in on 1150 as kind of my target for the velocities of the 124 grain that I wanted to try out. But we stepped outside of that as well. So here we go down with the Federal Tactical HST, again, 124 grain, 1150 velocity. Back down here with the Hornady Flex Lock, 124 grain, 1175, same ballpark. And then back down here with the Gold Dot, 124 grain, 1150. So we hit that 3 times, and then we, had some other stuff in there just to see, what would happen. And our results, as I documented throughout this video, I kind of tabulated over here on the side. And the SPEER Gold Dot basically is the winner in the 4 and 5 shot dispersion. So I took measurements based on the whole group and, the fact that we will probably have a flyer out of that 5. And I'm trying to grade this in a way that encompasses all 5, but still gives you an idea as to, what that 4-shot group is going to produce as well. And the SPEER basically won in both categories here. Well, actually, no, it came in second in both categories, but we gave green marks on the best 2 performers in each group. So in this one, in the 4-shot group, the Hornady Flex Lock won with a tighter group at 1.5, and the Gold Dot came in second at 2 inches. And here, the Federal, the 147, a little bit of a surpriser to me because this one came out as a heavier round and at a lower velocity, but it did have the tighter 5-shot group out of all of these. And Gold Dot came in second, but Gold Dot was the most consistent between the 4 and 5-shot groups. So I think we would end up calling this one the winner, even though all of these ammunitions, I feel like all of them performed well except for that one really concerning flyer out of the G9. And that's where we get our little red mark down here with a 12-inch on the 5-shot group. That was not, that's, you can see how much further off that is than everything else in the 5-shot group. I think our worst performer other than that was the 5-inch here with the 135, which, isn't bad. But again, we're more than twice that measurement there with our flyer. All things considered, that Hornady Critical Duty Flex Lock Plus P at 124 grains is looking really attractive to me. It's 1175 feet per second, and it maintains a velocity of over 1,000 feet per second out to 100 yards. So, not that I really think I'm going to be engaging anything outside of 100 yards. I like those numbers, and the accuracy, the 5-shot accuracy is acceptable. So maybe I'll go that way. Either way, it was a great day at the range. I got to spend some time with Anime Day, and we got some very, very productive work done. I would end up doing this anyway, but if you guys in any way feel like this is valuable information and you want to support the channel, the best way to do would be to like, comment, and subscribe. The subs are, essential to me trying to grow this channel right now, and I appreciate all of your support. The journey is everything, and I thank you all for being on that with me. With all that being said, stay safe. Don't forget to train, and remember that our safety is our responsibility. Enjoy the rest of this glorious weekend. I'll catch you on the next one.